So in the last video, you saw me pull this beast of an engine out, this LQ9, out of a Cadillac Escalade over in the junkyard. And last you saw, I was loading it up into the van. I was really tired and I was really exhausted. Well, now it's the next day. I've got it in the shop, which was a gymnastics, because if you look over here, Ranger over there being a dummy, this incline, the camera doesn't do it justice. Let me see if I stand up. But that's a severe incline, and then it comes up to this lip. Well, that lift over here really does not want to go up over that lip, let alone up that incline. And then also, this is not my lift, I borrowed it from a friend. This thing's 7 years old. So this bottle jack, the seals are starting to go. So I can only get it up about this high, and any higher, it just falls back down. So I ended up putting it in the back of the van. I put it in the side, so I take it out, put it in the back of the van, back the van up here, jack the bottom up enough so where this will slide underneath it, because the incline meets the bottom of the van. Jacked it up enough to get it under, and then that's how I got it in here. So right now it's sitting on this hoist, but I don't want to be sitting. I got to return this hoist here later today. So what I'm going to do over here, the Pittsburgh Harbor Freight brand engine stand, I'm going to go ahead and put that together, and once that's together, I'll bring it back when I go to take the, not the bell housing, the torque converter off. So I'll see y'all in a moment. Okay, so the engine stand went together fairly well. My one complaint is that this handle doesn't quite fit through the, god dang it, Ranger, you're the dumbest dog I've ever met. The handle doesn't go fully through the hole with the rubber grip on, so you gotta take this rubber grip off every time you want to take this on and off, which isn't too often, but still. So other than that, I mean, it rolls around real nice. I wish these two wheels were casters, and you can't really change it, it's welded on, but it is what it is. So on to actually getting this onto that, I'm gonna come over here. My plan of attack, because if you can see it, you can believe it, it looks like those mounting bolts, you can't really see it on camera, these mounting bolts are here, will line up right with the opening where the starter is. I've never really done this before, so I'm gonna take the starter off and go from there. So I'll start taking that off, and I'll catch you guys up when I get the starter off. Alright, so I've got, now you kind of see the bolts I'm trying to get to, and they do in fact, when I turn the engine over, come to right here so I can get to them with a socket, which makes my life a million times easier. I'm gonna wheel a table over here and set it under it. The starter's clean, real greasy and dirty, which is what I like. So I'm pretty positive that this is the original starter, or if it's not the original starter, it's been on there a while. So once I brake clean it up, it'll be good to go. But let's see, these are, see the markings here, just typical block casting markings and all that fun jazz. Actually says S10 right there, which is kind of funny to me. That's regardless, everything's real greasy down here. I got a bunch of degreaser and stuff to clean it once I get on the stand. But I just want to show you, in the 3 minutes that I took from taking the stand, putting the stand together, put it, what my dog did. He wrapped himself around it so tight that it dragged him, that he dragged it all the way from in there, all the way to over here. Why? Why, Ranger? Like, I swear, you've got the brains of a peanut. I love you though. I'd pet you, but I'm 30. So I'm gonna get them untangled real quick, and then I'm gonna get back to crack-a-lacking on that. I'm curious if my half-inch will drive this and get the spin over. I'll take the spark plugs out real quick just because they're garbage. So as you can see, I'll put them on my bench, but my bench is a mess right now. I'm just getting them out. I already took them out once. They're in there loose as it sits, because I didn't want rainwater getting in it when it started to rain between when I spun it over and when I actually got it out of the truck, because I had to stop because of a rainstorm. Ignore him, he's just being an idiot. So those are the 4 for the right side, and they're already mixed up out of order. I just know this one was the back one. They all look the same. This side, it's funny enough because if you look, 3 of these are NGKs, and then one's an AC Delco, and the AC Delco was all the way on this back cylinder where they couldn't really reach. That's why I think that one was there. Can I get it? I can't. I gotta get this chain out of the way though. Nope. It's too much. So I'm gonna have to spin it over by hand with the breaker bar. There's my breaker bar. One specifically because this thing's half-inch. So let's play. So if I show you now, right back here, the bolt is exposed enough for me to get to it. And it is both, I think, look at my light. My Braun work light. I had to buy a new one actually because I didn't buy a new one. I took it back in the warranty, replaced it because the one I had before, this cap on the bottom, it broke and like wouldn't stay on within a day or two of me owning it. So I guess we'll find out on that. Let me stick it right. Wow, really won't stick to any of that. So the thing's got a, this thing's kind of bright. It's got a powerful magnet on it that lets me stick it to things that are metallic, like that. But the only drawback is that you gotta find something metallic. And a lot of this apparently is not non-magnetic metallic. Like it's aluminum. These aren't though. And now I've got light. It looks like both a bolt and a hex, like an Allen. So I'll be right back with getting the right thing. Okay, so I meant to bring y'all back because I got the torque converter off. I thought I hit record, but I didn't hit record. So I don't remember exactly what I showed, but I was getting the bolts off of right here. I unbolted them. Once I unbolted them, the last one I just took off, and I kind of had it flop right onto this broken chair. Got the bolt there. You can see the casting marks circled 6.0 liter. So, hell yeah. That's I got that bitch off. So next I'm gonna take these flywheel bolts out. And once I take them off, I'll bring y'all back. I swear to God, I'm normally more organized than this. I'm gonna leave my tools up here a bit. But I'm just taking it. I should be doing this with a chrome socket, but I am. Boy, that. Oh, that's what up there. See if I can just work it off by hand a little bit. I got pry bars for a reason though. I have no clue if this is the correct way of doing this, but honestly, I don't know if I care. Got a rubber here. See if it's a... I'm working it off. I really don't care about this flywheel. It's going in the trash because I am running a aftermarket flywheel for the transition I'm going with. I hope there's nothing important back there that I could be messing up. At least not where I'm at. Okay. Misalign it with the hole. Not really, I guess that wouldn't work. Ow, that's sharp. Worked it off. Worked it off. Hell yeah. Now I gotta figure out how to fucking mount the engine mount to the engine. So when I figure that out, I'll bring y'all back. So problems have arisen. It's 8 o'clock. And like you saw, I got that off. But these are the engine bolts that I have that were holding it on. And well, they're too short for this. Yeah, see, he's tangled himself up again. Come on, Ranger. You have to deal with it for a minute till I finish recording this. But they're too short. I need 70. From what everybody said, I need a 70mm bolt. So, yeah. I'm gonna grab this tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go to Ace Hardware, get it, come back here, throw the plate on, and then we'll go from there. So I'll hit you all back up in the morning. Alright, it's the next day. I still haven't got the bolts. I went to Ace Hardware this morning, and they didn't have the right size, so I just called the one up in Orange City. I called the one up in Orange City nearby me, and they have them in stock. I'm gonna have to get some spacers on them, but it should work. I did go to AutoZone, and I also went with a friend this morning to pick up Civic transmission with him. But I picked up an oil drip pin, some rags, some purple power. We got engine degreaser and brake cleaner over there. I also stopped back by the yard. I forgot to grab the pedal and the wire, but I did grab... I couldn't get this off in the yard. I know how to get it off this little clip, but I don't want to break it. And I also got the Vortec engine cover that I'll repaint and make all nice and pretty, and use it on that engine when it's ready to go, because it literally just bolts. It's the same intake. It just bolts there and there. So yeah, right now I'm gonna go get those bolts. I also cleaned out my van and threw some moving blankets in, so that way I can go pick up the hood and the front and rear bumper for the Mustang up over past that, the engine. So that's the last parts that need to get painted. Now I just got to save up the money to buy all of the parts to like the weather strip, which is $250, and a bunch of other stuff. It's ridiculous. So I'm gonna go get the bolts, get all that stuff, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. So I have no clue where this video is at, but I'm pretty sure the last thing I wanted to film was putting the engine on the stand. It's on. The wrong bolts were 10 by 1.25. These are 10 by 1.5. But of course, they didn't have it in 80 millimeters I needed. I had to either get it in 100 or 75, and 75 is too short, so I had to use 100 and a shit ton of shims. But it's on there in all its glory. I went back to that same junkyard. I forgot to grab the pedal for the tack module, so but I trust that truck will be there for a little while. And I grabbed the valve cover gasket that's got a new one of these in it, and I also grabbed this Vortec engine cover. And yeah, it's on the stand. It's ready. The next video you'll see will hopefully be me starting to tear it down, take the harness off, take the heads off, take the intake off, clean all the grease off of it, just start to get it, you know, take stuff like this off that's gonna get junked because, you know, it's an oil cooler that I fucked up. But they sell an adapter where you can put AN lines on it so you can run a new oil cooler. In other news, I finally got my tools cleaned up too. For the most part, all this junk goes back in there. I only ended up losing, I think, a 1/2 inch. I think I only ended up losing a what size was it? Oh no, I didn't. Actually, I didn't end up losing any tools. I forgot I found that. So, you know, that's always a plus. And I picked up the last of the painted pieces for the Mustang. The rear bumper, the hood, and the front bumper, which is set up there. That's the bottom side. But so I can actually start putting this back together now, finally, after, you know, years. I think it's going on it's almost a year and a half that it's been in this garage in pieces, but I can finally start putting it back together. My birthday is August the 15th. I'd like to have it driving on the road by then. We'll see, because, you know, all the little parts and bits I got is expensive, so we'll see. But I think that's where I'm gonna leave the video at. So y'all take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one. Woo!